Okay, so what is embrace? How do we understand this? How do we draw this out of the woman? The system I teach is called ACT leadership. So awareness, control, thrust, and leadership. Leadership, doing seduction, we're not doing game. Essentially, we're getting out of deception, out of courtship, and moving into friendship using leadership. And leadership fundamentally means getting rid of deception. So what you're doing that when you're interacting with a woman is you're leading. She's coming from a courtship world, a courtship frame, even though she doesn't like it. Courtship essentially means that the woman's sexuality is repressed and is hidden, and is her value as a human being is based on her sexual history or lack thereof. Women don't like this. This is basically going against their nature. So a woman feels like she has to go along with this courtship frame where her sex is essentially bought. She doesn't like it. It's just how male-dominated society works. And, obviously there's a lot of talk out there about how women really run the show. That's complete bullshit. Some men run the show. Small amount of men run the show and basically create this game that everyone has to play. So women aren't running the show. Most men aren't running the show. A very small number of men are the ones that dictate the games we have to play in order to eat, earn a living, and have sex. So this courtship doesn't feel good to her. At the same time, she's grown up in this. She's been culturally brainwashed, just like men have been brainwashed. So what we need to do is bring her from this courtship frame into friendship. And that might sound funny because, we talk about the friend zone. Men and women can't be friends and have sex, and all this sort of like, there's a conflict between having sex and being friends. Well, yeah, there is a conflict when the woman's value is based on sex. When her value is no longer based on sex, then men and women are no longer opponents. So men don't have to essentially have sex with the woman, like conquer her body in spite of her mind. So when we're using courtship, which really comes from ownership, okay, where women became property with the agricultural revolution about like 10,000 years ago.